right, guys, we're live. Can you guys hear us all right? We're back with another Millennial Motivate podcast. Can you guys hear us? Yo, 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 yo.
Yo.
We're back.
Can I don't think they can hear us. Can they hear us?
Yeah. Let's see. Can you guys hear us? Let us know.
Let's see. What's up, guys? What's up, my Millennial Motivate family? I know a lot of you guys are always driving around this time. I want to see what's a good time, where we can start, where everybody can hop on, because usually a lot of people they're able to hop on a little bit later. So if you guys can, I know a lot of you guys will watch this a little bit later on. If you guys can just drop a time like what's good for you guys. But either way, our guest today is Angel El Moreno Rodriguez. He is a professional boxer. He's a guy that I actually grew up with. And, I wanted to bring him on because, this podcast is all about entrepreneurship. It's all about mindset, right? I don't want to make this about real estate. This has to do with, the mindset part of it as well. So I wanted to bring Angel out here and just kind of talk about, his lifestyle and his mindset and wanting to become world champion. So you want to talk about it a little bit, Angel?
Yeah.
Cool.
I started off rough a little bit. Going down a little rough. A rough path. At the age of 15, I was getting in trouble in school, and I got kicked out of school and stuff. And my dad, he never let me join boxing ever. Like even as a kid, I wanted to box. He never let me. Until I got expelled from school, and he started to think like, all right, maybe this boxing can save him and help him, and so I started boxing at 15. So when I met Leo, we were at Westside,
Yeah.
yeah, man. Honestly, like when I started boxing, it changed my whole way of thinking. It changed my mindset. It made me just want to stay away from those people that were getting me in trouble. It's very tough. It's always been tough, but I like it because it keeps me it keeps me on point in my life. Outside of the ring, with everything, it keeps me in a straight line. You know what I mean? So,
Guys, he's 20 years old. He's 20 years old as well. Like I said, he's a hustler. He's on his way to becoming world champion. I was actually at his fight about a month ago, and he won by a knockout. What's your record currently as a boxer?
right now I'm 7-0.
7-0. How much
7-0.
knockouts?
7-0. Got to keep the winning streak going. And I'm super excited for this podcast. I'm feeling amazing today. I'm super excited to dive into this because, boxing is major key in boxing is mindset, right? And us as business owners, mindset is huge for what we do in order to deal with all the BS that we deal with on a daily basis in order to run this business and try to become a CEO and a boss. You got to go through a lot of BS. And if you don't have the mindset to keep pushing forward consistently every single day, then you'll never make it. And definitely training for boxing is one of those places where it will beat you down to where you can't take it anymore and can't keep going, but you do. And ultimately, that's what makes you have a 7-0 record. So super excited for this guest. Thank you, Angel, for coming on. We're super excited.
No problem.
That's definitely exciting. I love that a lot. And like you said, Jacob, going off what you said, in business, there's a lot of tough moments. But I think in anything that you do in life, there's going to be tough moments, right? And anything that you do. And, Angel, my next question for you is really, on a day-to-day basis, I know you got to stick with your health. You got to stick with, a diet. You got to stick with, just being disciplined in everything you're doing. How are you able to stay disciplined? Like, what is that drive for you? I also know that you have a daughter as well. So I'm pretty sure that's a drive for you, being 20 years old and wanting to step your way up to becoming world champion, right?
Yeah, definitely. It's tough to keep going. Like there's days where you don't want to run. There's days where you don't want to train. There's days where you see your family eating pizza and you're the only one with your meal prep. It's like it's one of the hardest things to do. And the way I see it is like you know, like Muhammad Ali said, you know, he hated every minute of training, but he lived the rest of his life like a champion. And that to me, you know, it makes a lot of sense. And I'll suffer for a month or two, you know, and then but after the fight, you know, we have a great victory, and I get to enjoy food. I get to enjoy my family. I get to enjoy everything I didn't get to enjoy while training twice as much. I really appreciate it more, you know.
And that's huge what you just said about, you know, you suffer for a while, but you live the rest of your life in greatness, right? And I just want to tie this in business as well, because this is a business group, and in boxing, a lot of the mental stuff you go through ties into business. And so you suffer for a long time, right? And me and Leo are building our businesses at a young age, so that way we can live, you know, after our 30s, live our dream life, retire early, all of that. And we're suffering right now. We're in the trenches. We're in the eat shit stage, right? But we're doing it for a reason. We're doing it for our family. We're doing it for the people around us, and for us to live a successful life after we suffer and build our businesses. And, you know, the same dynamic goes into combat sports as business as well. There's these different steps, right? If you want to be successful, you got to start young. I know boxers got to start young, right? If you start too late, you'll never have the skill in order to be a world champion. You got to start young, right? You got to suffer and suffer and suffer till you finally get that breakthrough moment where you catch a win. So it ties in amazing.
Yep, exactly. And also as well, what I do want to mention is, you know, for you yourself, I know that you've sparred with a couple of you sparred with a world champion. You've done training with world champions. You've done trainings with you know, Olympic medalists like Shakur Stevenson, right?
Yeah.
How was that experience being able to train with people that at an elite level already? I know that's definitely it's changed the way, you know, you boosted your confidence up. I would say, right?
Yeah, definitely. I've got to spar with a few world champions. Shakur, by far was one of the most craziest experiences I've ever had. It was like the atmosphere just being there was totally different from being home. You know, I was in a hotel like I'll say 20 hours out of the day. You know, we're just going to go out and run and go train. And it was just strictly business. It was strictly business, no mess around, no friends, no contact with anybody. I was just locked down, just training. And, you know, Shakur, he taught me a lot. He taught me a lot that I didn't know. You know, it was, he helped me get that experience because this guy's one of the baddest in the game. I really believe this dude is something special. You know, so he showed me a lot, and at the same time, like, it helped me develop not only like myself in the ring, but it motivated me to want to be better and, you know, get to the level he's at. You know, he became a world champion, I believe, with like 13 fights. He
Yeah,
went to the six. He's bad, man. He's a bad man. So
love that.
you know, yeah, it was just a whole. It was that whole training camp was just a whole like a different type of focus.
Yeah.
You know.
If you guys don't know, Shakur Stevenson is an Olympic medalist. I believe he's a bronze medalist or silver.
So I think it's bronze.
Yeah, he's a bronze medalist. He got robbed in the Olympic Games, I would say. Yeah, he got robbed in the Olympic Games, but now he's on his path to greatness. He's probably, you know, even Floyd Mayweather has said that he's, you know, he's an upcoming fighter. Is probably going to be one of the greatest out there. So this kid is definitely upcoming, and Angel, you know, was able to share the ring with this guy, and I bet that boosts up the confidence, and also as well, you know, Angel is where are you from, Angel? Again, you have a Mexican heritage. I know your dad really represents Mexico a lot. So I want to talk about how does it feel to, you know, get in that ring and represent your country, you know, represent your people.
My family's roots are from Mexico. They're from Tepic, Nayarit, and
Okay.
Guadalajara, Jalisco. For me, it's really amazing to be able to represent that because, you know, a lot of Latinos, they love to watch boxing. A lot of the fans are Latino fans. They're diehard boxing fans. They help us become who we are in boxing, and not only that, like the whole Mexican bloodline, it is really motivating because a lot of Mexicans have gone through a lot. They go through a lot to this day. Mexicans are just natural born fighters. That's what they do. They're fighting their whole life, to feed their family or to find a better life for themselves or for their kids. And representing Mexico, it always reminds me of like just being that fighter, just being a fighter from representing the people that can't fight against whatever it is they're going through. So it means a lot. It really does mean a lot to me deeply. It really does.
And I love that. I love that you mentioned that because I know your dad, your father was born in Mexico, correct? In Tijuana.
My father's parents, my father's parents was born in Mexico. My dad was born here.
Okay, yeah, he was born in LA, but even your father, he's an amazing story as well. Your dad is a real estate investor, so that's something Angel could have, went down. He could have went down that path and done real estate, but he said, you know what, I'm not gonna do real estate. I know you did a couple of real estate deals. You were working on some deals with me as well, but also, you could have went down that path, and like you said, your dad didn't want you to do boxing, but you chose that. You chose it, and I like that because you were also mentioning that you lost a lot of friends. You were doing bad in high school, and boxing saved your life, really.
Definitely. No, definitely. Real estate is something I want to invest in when we get to the level where the money starts coming in. I really want to invest in real estate with my pops. Like my pops is very smart. He's been doing this for 20 something years, so he has a lot of knowledge. And I mean, I don't see no better thing than doing real estate, honestly.
Yeah.
There ain't no job better than real estate. You know what I mean?
Exactly. You're investing. Do you have some questions, Jacob?
Yeah, so I kind of want to dive into this. When you're going through a training camp, what does your day look like?
So training camp, it usually looks like I'm waking up in the morning. I'm going for a run. I hit the gym right after I come
Hold
back.
up. What time do you wake up at?
It depends. It depends on the heat, on how hot it is. If it's really hot, I have to wake up before the sun comes out. If it's not, times like right now where it's pretty fresh, I wake up about 8. I go for my run, and I go to the gym at 10. I'm in the gym till about 12:31. I usually come home and rest for a little bit. I go back to the gym at 4:30, do my strength conditioning, go home, rest for a few hours, and I go to LA Fitness and finish out till midnight. I'm there, cutting weight, things like that.
Boom.
Love that. Yeah,
Amazing.
and that's a struggle. And that's a struggle because being around, being 20 years old, our I would say we have a lot of cravings, right? I mean,
Yeah.
we're still going through puberty, right? I think you start going through puberty at like 23, right? 24. So you get those cravings and you want to do it. I know how that is. So that definitely takes a lot of discipline to be able to do that, and just to be able to have that mindset of continuing to do it, because I'm pretty sure your goal is obviously to become world champion. What is your vision in boxing? What is your goal in boxing? Like, what is your main goal? Like, you wanna achieve?
My main goal is, obviously it is to become world champion, but I wanna do it the right way, as far as like a lot of these boxers get to like pick and choose who they want to fight. For example, like Teofimo stepped up to the plate and just become great. He beat Loma, and that was a very big fight that nobody thought he'd take or win. He got so much respect for that. For me, it's more like I wouldn't care about the losses as long as I get to fight everybody who claims to be a champion. You know what I mean? Just really just show out that this sport is about fighting, and fighting whoever's put in front of you. Not, no, I don't want to fight him. I want to fight this guy or this guy. You know what I mean? I just be known for fighting everybody.
And this is a deadly sport. This is something people don't realize, but boxing is a deadly sport where you can get hit, maybe the wrong way in the back of the head, and be paralyzed. There's people that have died in the ring. So you're going out there and putting your life on the line every single time that you get out there, and you're just being able to do that, every time. So that's a blessing, brother. And I know you're a firm believer in God as well. So I'm pretty sure God's on your corner every single fight, being able to help you out with that, right?
Yes, sir.
I'm curious. So when you started, I'm sure you were skittish to punches. How did you get past that?
I mean, I've always got down in the street, man. Like, so
Yeah.
it was more like, all right, now I'm in the ring. They got boxing gloves, but then I was like, but these dudes know how to hit and they know how to punch. So I just got to be careful. But it wasn't. I never really had. I would sit there and I'd take a few punches and I'd be like, man, this doesn't hurt. So I was just like, all right, let's go, and I just start banging. So the thing is, like, I've always just been. I never really been like scared of the punches or like, you know, I don't know.
You
It's
love
just
to
something
fight.
that's
You love to
natural.
fight.
You're
Yeah,
a
I guess
born
so.
fighter. You're a born fighter, bro. So
Yeah, I guess so.
and I guess taking a few hits showed you like this don't hurt. I'm strong, right? So
Yeah, when I was younger, we're always sparring with older dudes too. They were a lot older than us, so it was like, all right, these dudes are punching like this, like I should be all right. I shouldn't see anything harder than this, like.
let's go into like your hardest moment ever during a training camp.
Well,
Your
yeah,
hardest moment.
yeah. Training camp. Like, what's the hardest moment for you?
The hardest training camp moment, or like what is the hardest in general in all my training?
Let's first go into the hardest moment you've had training.
It was his last one, the one Leo went to. Um,
Oh
the
wow. Yeah, talk about
virus,
that.
the virus hit, so we weren't. I didn't fight for 8 months. Um, the LA fitnesses and stuff weren't open for me to go and like cut weight how I usually do. So I was just trying in the boxing gym. Um, I was, man, I was so dehydrated. Uh, my liver was hurting. I was able to feel my liver when I'm running. Like it's happened like a week or two before the fight. And I remember just trying to run and my liver was hurting. There was times where I pushed through it for an hour and a half in pain, just running, just like I gotta do it, I gotta do it. For some reason, like I was having trouble like cutting weight. The night before the weigh-ins, the night before I went to Mexico, I was in the sauna until like 4 in the morning with the sauna suit, and I was dripping like a whole bunch. And like for some reason, I just wasn't losing weight because I drink water and it just stayed. And we get to Mexico, and they had agreed to fight at 140, so I came in at 142.
Oh
So
wow.
I
And that's a
had
big difference. And that's a big thing. People don't understand that 2 pounds overweight can cost you the fight. It can cost you your paycheck, right?
yeah, definitely. No, not only that, my lips were already like hard and dry. Like I was done. Like I was just so drained already. Um, so what we did was like they told me I had an hour. I went and I sat in a hot car. I sat in a hot car for like 20 minutes, sweating in there, sweating in the hot car, like, and I went back and I still had 1 more pound to lose, and like I almost said, you know what, I'll just pay whatever rule you want to make, but I can't do this last pound, like I'm done. But then I was like, no, I just stood quiet. I was like, I got 30 more minutes to just go see what happens. I was so thirsty, man. I hadn't ate for 3 days before that because I was just paranoid. Like I was just paranoid. And I went up to the top and I'm running up there. I'm running up there and running up there. And with 15 minutes left, I finally went down and I barely made it, man. But I almost gave like I was like, I can't do it, man. I can't. It was tough.
It
Yeah.
was like 90 degrees, guys. It was like 90 degrees. He had to make weight, so he had to start running around the parking lot, right? Running
Yeah,
around,
but
his face was pale, his lips were chapped, he was dehydrated. He was telling, everybody that his liver was hurting, but that's the shit he has to go through as a fighter. And people don't realize that, and every day in life we got to go through something, but not as painful as that,
So
right?
how long was, how long after that after the weigh-in was the fight? The next day. So how did you get like good after that in order to feel good for the fight? Like that's something that I don't understand. Like cutting weight
so
is so hard and beats you up so bad, right? You're super dehydrated. How do you like revive yourself for the fight?
it's just about rehydrating. We have about 24 hours. I usually rehydrate pretty well. I usually put on about 15 pounds from the weigh-ins to the fight.
And people don't realize that. You say that again. So the night before you weighed 140, and then after that you weighed
About
about
55.
how much?
About 155.
155. That's crazy. In a day, he gained 15 pounds, right?
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's
Wow.
crazy.
Because your body goes through a shock where it doesn't know when you're gonna drink or eat water again enough for your body. So then anything you put in your body just holds onto it and it doesn't let it go. So it's like all of that stays in there.
So then you feel good for the fight. You're all fueled back up and ready to go.
Yeah, I feel good. I always feel great. What we usually do is we'll drink a Pedialyte, have sodium, and then after that, just drink a bunch of water, and all that sodium holds all the water into your muscles, and then you start to come back to life, and then you eat pastas and things like that, where it's all energy foods.
Wow. Yeah, that's crazy, guys. That's nuts. That's nuts that you have to be able to do that. But that's the discipline, what it takes to become world champion. And then once you become world champion, it's like television shows want to sign with you. All these big boxing companies want to sign you. You now got sponsors by Adidas, Nike. So guys, this guy, he's 20 years old. He hits hard as hell. He fights at 135 pounds, right? Or 140 pounds?
135.
He fights at 135. And how tall are you?
About 5'10", 5'11".
Wow.
Yeah, you're like 5'11". You're pretty tall. 5'11", fighting at 135. I'm pretty sure you walk around at what weight? Like 160, 170?
160.
Wow.
That's crazy. That is crazy. Yeah, so, I love that you really went in and described in detail what it's like to go through that. Because in business, we're going to have those times where we're working nonstop for weeks because something has to get done. And just like the hard things that hit us in the face in business, in boxing, it's all meant for a reason because sponsors, TV shows reaching out to you, Adidas, Nike, right? The label that you will have, right? The champion. So it's all just worth it in the long run. And, I'm sure this boxing has helped you learn to keep your eye on the prize of what your goal is, and that is one of the main things that keeps you moving forward. I'm sure of that.
Definitely.
Yep, exactly. What do you think about these new upcoming fighters? Let me name someone that probably everybody knows about. I personally think that he hasn't had any competition yet. Ryan Garcia, I'm pretty sure all of you guys know about him. Even whether you're in boxing or not, you guys know about that fighter, Ryan Garcia. What do you personally think, Angel? Would you like to get in the ring with him? Because he's 135 as well.
Yeah. For me, that's a dream fight right there.
Okay.
I mean, the kid is, I think he's good. I think he's good. But,
you can say the truth.
I mean, I'm not gonna hate on anybody's craft, but he bro, that's tough. To me, the thing I see about him is the lack of
the lack of balls. It's fine. You can say it on it. The lack of balls, and you know what? That's what would you say, like, for you, being a boxer, do you think that's something you have to be able to, promote, be entertaining, like on Instagram, TikTok, and all that stuff? Like, would you say that's something that's needed?
I mean, it's smart. It's smart. It's a smart business move. It is. It's a smart business move. Not everyone's really fit for the whole TikTok and stuff like that. Like, I don't really get down like that,
Yeah, I don't think you got it, right?
Fighter. You're a hardcore fighter, brother.
Yeah,
so.
you don't gotta do that. Your fights will show.
I just want to get the people that follow me off from just showing my fight, bro. Like me coming being a hard fighter. I think this next fight's gonna be a real challenge for him, though. Not the toughest challenge. It is gonna be his toughest challenge to date, but that dude Luke Campbell is pretty good, so we'll see what happens. I'm really excited for the Javante Leo Santa Cruz this Saturday.
Oh, wow. This Saturday. Yeah, that's going to be an amazing fight.
Yeah.
And also, I want to talk about something. Your last fight, how quick did you knock the guy out? Like, the last fight, it was like the first round?
Second round. I knocked him down.
Second round. If you guys go to his Instagram, at Angel, it's El Moreno Rodriguez. If you go to his Instagram, you see that he knocked him out in the second round. and you put the guy to sleep. You put the guy to sleep. So let me ask you, you being a fighter and you seeing that this guy went to sleep. I mean, I was there to witness it, and I it looked like the guy died. And what I really respect that you did, what I respect Angel did is he went to this guy's corner and he made sure that he was okay.
Definitely.
Yeah.
What punch did you knock him out with?
What punch?
Yeah.
It was an overhand left.
Nice.
Oh, he put him. I wish we could put this on. I wish we could put it on the podcast. But
yeah. What'd you hit him with? On the chin or the head? Where?
On the chin. Yeah. What happened was I had went down to his body twice before that. So then the third time, I fainted, went down, so he covered his body, and when I seen that, I just went over the top, like up here, and just caught it right on the chin.
Boom.
Yeah, boxing it's so much more. It's so much more than just fighting. Like there's ways to set things up that a lot of people really couldn't tell or see because those are, I don't know. That's like, for me, one person that really sets things up beautifully is Canelo. Like
he's a massive Mexican fighter. Is that someone you inspire to be like? Is Canelo?
Yeah, he's really good. He's a really good fighter. He has a lot of good tricks up his sleeves, like all his feints and stuff. Like he really be making fighters really think.
Yep, and that's what some people don't realize. Boxing is not just, it's not fighting. It's an art.
Yeah,
I would say boxing is an art, and it takes years and years of experience to be great. And that's something that's very important, and it takes a lot of discipline, and that's why I wanted to bring you on, brother. So people can know that, like, not just in business you gotta have discipline, but in anything you do in life to become great, you gotta have discipline. And you mentioned Muhammad Ali's quote, suffer now and live it's like this: suffer now and live the rest of your life like a champion. And right now you're suffering. You're I'm pretty sure like you're taking these small checks on these fights. You're taking these small checks on these fights so you can be world champion. And that's something that's very like, that's fucking awesome, because you're willing to sacrifice now your young years, being 18, 19, 20, and you turned pro at what age?
18.
You turned professional at 18 years old. And being 18 years old, you have to stay disciplined to be a successful fighter. And now he's 7-0. No, I mean, you have how much knockouts? 3 knockouts?
4.
Four. He's 7-0, 4 knockouts, and you're just getting stronger every single fight after this. And then sooner or later, you're gonna be training until it takes the time to become a world champion. And then that's when they're gonna know who the fuck Angel El Moreno Rodriguez is, right?
Yes, sir. So. And yeah, it is way more than just throwing punches. It's so much skill to set everything up, and to play it smart so you don't get hit, right? And it's just crazy what goes into it. It's literally like chess. It's like that much strategy goes into it. It's not just being tough or being good at throwing a punch. There's way more that goes into it that people don't see, and there's way more that goes into it to get ready for a fight that people don't realize or see. Like literally, it's months on months of preparation for this. 2 rounds. So what? You knocked him out in like 6 minutes. 6 minutes, months on months for like 6 minutes. I don't know how long your rounds are, but
3 minutes.
3 minutes.
3-minute rounds. And how does that one round feel like? Like, how would you say that round? Like, what's going through your head during that round? Like, you want to end this fight right away, right?
It feels a lot different from sparring. Like sparring, it feels normal, but when you're in the ring, it feels like forever. We spar 6 rounds all the time. Fighting 4 rounds, when I used to fight 4 rounds, it was like, dang, it took forever, man. Like, it just, I don't know if it's the nerves or what it is that just kind of slows everything down.
Your record now, it's your record on the line, and it's really your pride as well, right?
Definitely. Yeah, definitely.
So, how do you feel right before the fight? Like the moments when you walk out, when you hop in the ring, what do you feel like? How do you keep the nerves down? So you can.
I want to mention something real quick, Angel. You walked out on a fight in a horse, right?
Oh, yeah.
This man walked out on one of his fights in Pico Rivera. So, guys, if you guys don't know, in California, he's from Pico Rivera, correct? He represents Pico Rivera, the Hispanic community, and and just being able to be that boxer that's going to come out and be great out of Pico Rivera. This guy walked out of a filled stadium. It was pretty filled. The stadium was pretty filled, and he walked out in a horse. Like, that shit was crazy.
Someone just said I just watched that video on his Instagram, and that man got slept. Yeah, but how do you keep the nerves down? You know, that moment when you're walking out, getting in the ring. How do you?
I try to think about more of the training camp, more than the fight itself. It is said that fights are won in training, not necessarily in the fight. You know what I mean?
That's
So
awesome.
That right there really calms me down, because I do feel all the nerves, the excitement, the fear and everything that just wants to come out. But the whole thing is to keep it contained and controlled, so that you can perform and do you can execute what you practice in training. So like, this last fight, like, I hadn't fought in so long, and I was like, man, I don't know how I'm gonna feel. But then I got myself together, and I was like, all right, look, just I'm good. Let's just walk out. And I was very relaxed. I was very calm. Once I got into the ring, I was being patient. I wasn't going too crazy. I was just making sure that I did what I had to do and what I trained for.
How long had it been since your last fight?
I hadn't fought since January 25th of this year.
Wow. So I want to jump back real quick. Hardest part of training camp in general, not the hardest moment in general.
Well, the hardest part in training camp in general, I would just say it's the cutting weight, the late nights, trying to cut weight, and it's tough, especially like, you can't eat too much. You gotta eat like a portion size, like, meal.
That's your meal preps, right?
Yeah, meal preps.
Okay.
And then I want to dive deeper into just mindset through training camp. Mindset, like what I was saying a little bit before. You got your eye on the prize. You know what the goal is, right? And that's what helps you push forward. Dive in a little bit more on your mindset going through these camps.
It's just being focused and being ready for the fight. My mindset is more like, I gotta train as best as I could and be in the best shape possible, so I don't get my butt whooped. It's dangerous. You can be in there gassed out and just getting hit on the head, which is not good for you. So it's like,
that's how Muhammad Ali died. He died of Parkinson's disease.
Definitely. Yep. It's
so
it's something
you don't want to be. You don't want the feeling of, you'll know right away if you trained enough, right? And if you did enough.
Yeah.
So like first minute of the fight, you'll know, like, did I put in the work or not? And you don't want to feel that, oh shit.
Yeah, that I didn't.
did not put in the work. So
you don't want to think back to that day where you didn't go run because you didn't feel like it. It really can throw you off. It can throw your whole game off.
Yeah.
One day can throw you off.
And Leo, I know you talk about this a lot, the mental calluses, right? And I'm sure going through these training camps, you had to build your mind up to be able to handle just pushing through day in, day out. Being able to push through, and you've been able to make your mental abilities so strong. I'm sure of it, being in boxing. And I think that's huge, and I think that's huge for everyone, whether you're a professional boxer or whether you're a CEO or whether you're whatever you are, right? Just in life in general, you need to build your mind to be strong. Otherwise, the daily things that will happen to you in life will beat you and break you down, and you cannot be having that happen to live a happy, successful life. So, I think it's amazing not only what boxers go through physically, but what they go through mentally. And I think the person that boxer becomes going through these training camps and through these fights is a crazy, crazy thing to see how strong that person is, not only physically but mentally, and it's amazing. So I'm fascinated by boxers, truly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and also, you mentioned something as well, Jacob, that your aunt was the first woman boxing coach, correct?
No,
Or
she was the first woman
boxing referee.
referee, and then she did judge some fights. So yeah, she's
Oh,
in the
nice.
Hall of Fame. My aunt is in the
Hall
Hall
of
of
Fame.
Fame.
Nice.
Yep. So I'll have you meet her. I'll connect you with her. But yeah, we might even have her on here down the road. She's pretty old now. She's lived her life. She's done some crazy, incredible things. And yeah, so that's really interesting too. That I got that background of Hall of Famer in the boxing industry. So
Yep, exactly.
Having a woman a referee. Yeah, I had a woman referee for my first fight, and man, I knocked this dude down 3 times hard every single time, and she wasn't stopping it for some reason. Like he was taking a beating, and I'm thinking, damn, maybe she doesn't want to feel like maybe because she's a woman, like she's gonna be like have that motherly feeling of
yeah,
protecting, So she let it go on, bro. Like she let it ride.
Yeah, that first fight you had, you beat the hell out of this guy. You just
Yeah,
went
man.
in there and beat him up.
yo guys, we're gonna get into questions in about like 5 minutes. We're gonna get into questions for Angel. So do me a favor, everyone in this live right now, share this live on your Facebook page. Share this live. That way we can get more people in here and ultimately get more people to join our Millennial Motivate community, because we are growing this community and having many more amazing guests on this podcast just like this. So share the live right now. We're going to get into questions shortly for Angel. But yeah, that's amazing. So yeah, pretty cool story. She's in the Hall of Fame, and you want to be a world champion. So let's make it happen, because you will, right? And I'm sure you tell yourself all the time that I will be a world champion, because there's no if or buts about it. It's I will, and you're going to get it done, and you're going to put the work in to get it done, and no one's going to get in the way from you making it happen.
Definitely.
Yeah, Ryan Garcia, I liked your answer for that too. That was funny. I think that's pretty accurate. And I think that he took the social media route, and I don't think you need to take the social media route to be a famous boxer, because the work you put in and the fights will prove it for itself, and your name will go around because of your performances. So that's huge too, right?
Exactly. Hey guys, if you guys want, start dropping some questions right now for Angel or any of us. Drop some questions. Drop some tough questions for him. I know a lot of you guys pop up, a little bit later on throughout the day. Like I said, if you guys are able to give us a time that's good for you guys, because I know around 5, 6, 7 o'clock, a lot of people are, getting out work. They're coming back from work. That's why we put it on Facebook, so then you guys can come back and listen to this. So if you
Yeah,
guys
I
have
mean, if there's a better time that you guys think, let us know. Also, I want to, after we do like 15 minutes of questions for Angel, I want to leave like 5 or 10 minutes for you guys to ask us real estate questions, just because I know a lot of people have real estate questions. So I think we should give them 5 or 10 minutes, Leo,
Yep.
to just answer some of those questions. So any questions about boxing, training camp, anything like that for Angel?
mindset, ask that, guys. Ask that. Ask some tough questions. Anything.
Someone
Really.
said, "Dang, I'm late. You missed it, but you can go watch it back after this." One of my business, this guy that I used to do business with a bunch, Marco, he said, "What about Oscar Valdez?" I think he wants you to fight Oscar Valdez.
Oscar Valdez, man. Oscar Valdez is he's a good fighter. That dude's a very Mexican fighter. The dude comes to fight. That dude has balls. Unlike the other guy, but Oscar Valdez, like I've been thinking about it. I'm gonna catch another fight at 135, see how I feel. And if I feel good enough, I'm gonna try and do 130. It's gonna be tough. I'm gonna try it because Oscar Valdez is there, but you also have a lot of different people at 130 that I would want to fight. Those dudes are So dudes are more vicious, you know, down there at 130. You know,
Why
they're
do you fight at a weight where you have to cut so much? Why not fight at a heavier weight?
Because like if I fight at like for example, I walk around about 155, 160, 160 for the most part. If I fight at like 147 or 154, these dudes are coming down from like 180, 185. So when it's time to hydrate, like how I hydrate in the 15 pounds, they're probably put on more than me, and it's just
Yeah,
it won't
that
work.
makes sense. What are some habits that you've developed to help you become a successful boxer?
Um, some habits as far as like training or just in general in life.
Habits in general about the person you are, I think, is kind of what they're diving into.
Or you have to
Or
become.
habits about like what you're able to do daily, or just habits that I feel like habits are a daily thing. So maybe like,
Definitely. I mean, one thing I definitely try to do every day is I try to go with the mindset of learning something new every day. I try to focus on one thing, one day at a time. For me, it's a habit because boxing. I mean, you can have good habits and bad habits, but you also want it to become second nature when you're in the ring. So um, I wouldn't necessarily call them habits. I pretty much say like second nature things that I try to do every day, so that when I'm in the ring, it's just it's just there without me having to think about it. I see something and my body naturally knows how to react to it and move around or things
I
like
like
that.
that.
So
Yeah.
I like that answer. Do you have a routine workout plan?
yeah, my original workout plan is when waking up in the morning, go to the gym. Or when before COVID and I had the gyms open, the other LFAs and stuff. I was working out about 4 times a day. I'd box, run, do strength conditioning, run again at night, and then just get in the sauna and sweat and things like that. So
What
Nice.
keeps you pushing through any mental blocks that you may have?
um, you know, I've had to deal with a lot of tough things during training camps. Um, I feel like every time I'm in a training camp, except this last time, or the last few times, I feel like every time I'm in a training camp, um, just things are always happening that trying to take take me off route.
Like
Things
life, personal stuff in life.
yeah, and it's happened a few times where I almost lost it. I almost told my dad, like I told my dad, Dad, I can't do this right now. I'm not. I can't. I'm not in the mental state to be doing this right now. And he'll talk with me, and then I'd feel better and be like, all right, you know what, no, I shouldn't even be thinking about that. I shouldn't even be worried about that right now. I got a big day coming up, and this is my focus, and this is what I should be thinking about. So after like I learned just to let everything go. Now I don't even deal with the bull crap. Like if some bull crap hits me during training camp, I just block it and I don't even deal with it. I don't even pay no attention to it.
Selective focus. Selective focus is what you learn how to do, which is super important, to keep you feeling like a winner otherwise, and be happy and achieve the goal you're trying to achieve. There's a lot of little things and there's a lot of big things that will come into everyone's life trying to derail them from their goal, but you can't let it happen. Let's see. What would you say is the most important factor when you are in the ring besides winning?
The most important factor definitely is just listening to your corner because they can see everything that you can't see, or they see things that their job is to see the mistakes that my opponent is making and to capitalize on that. They're not really there to tell me really the mistakes that I'm making. Obviously, it's always keep your hands up and protect yourself, but they're always looking at the opponent to see that he might be dropping his hands after a certain punch or after I feint, he's reacting a certain way, and that's when I should attack. Things like that. Definitely listen to your corner.
Yep. Exactly. I think that's really key. So, man, thank you. So, you have any more questions, Jacob, for yourself?
No, I think that ends it good. You got anything else to say, Angel, to kind of end it off, and then we'll take some real estate questions?
I appreciate it. I appreciate you guys for inviting me on this. It was
No
really
worries,
cool.
partner.
It was
You
dope,
good?
man.
Yeah,
Yeah, we
man.
go way back. Me and Angel go way back.
Yep,
Yeah, yeah.
and we'll look back at this when you're a champion, and we'll look back at this and be like, "Damn, he did it," because you're gonna
Yeah.
do it, bro.
And we'll bring him back
Amazing.
on. As long as he doesn't forget us, we'll bring him back on.
Yeah, don't forget us.
Oh man.
As long as he doesn't forget us, then we'll be good, right?
Yes,
I'm
sir.
saying,
All right,
saying it.
guys. You have any questions for me and Leo about real estate? Because I know most of you do real estate. So I'd be happy to answer some questions for 5 or 10 minutes. Also, one thing I want to tell you guys is we're going to have Millennial Motivate hats and t-shirts for sale. We're not going to be making really a profit off of them. It's just to get you guys so you can rep the community. So if you do want to rep the Millennial Motivate community, merchandise, hats, and shirts will be released either next week or the week after. So be out on the lookout for that. Hats and shirts are coming. Millennial Motivate hats and shirts. Where do you get your cold call list? I get my cold calling list from the Call Genius. I get my cold calling list from partner.coleinformation.com/unlimited. That's where I get most of my lists. I also get niche lists from Rebo Gateway, PropStream, and ListSource. But for broad data that's high equity, to get my whole county, you can save thousands of dollars using partner.coleinformation.com. I just threw it up on the screen right now. And then Leo has a link where you can get a discount on PropStream, where you're able to get some of those other niche lists. And so I just threw that up on the screen as well. For me,
I get lists. I get my stuff on ListSource, but I also get predictive data list. I really shouldn't be saying this, but these are like low key lists that I get from the county. These lists they have to be bought. They have to be bought if you know a certain person in your county that's able to produce these lists. These are the reason why they call them predictive data lists is because they're the best list out there that are predicting a seller is going to want to sell. I don't really target niche lists, if I'm being honest with you. So I don't really target like probate. I don't target any of that because I think everybody else is targeting the same thing. Really, if you're just pulling a whole county, you're pulling absentee owner, you should be pretty good to get a deal from there if it's absentee owner.
The two lists I have the most success out of. Number one is absentee owner list with 50% equity and unknown equity.
Yep.
But that dries up. You'll pull like maybe 5-10 deals and that will dry up for a while because everyone's hitting that list. Everyone's hitting all the niches. I'm hitting all the niches too. But the majority of my deals come from little equity, right? 3 years plus residence, the whole county. And now this list can cost you, depending on the size of your market, this list can cost you over 30 grand for the list. And that's why if you go to partner.coleinformation.com/unlimited, that's how I'm able to afford going into different markets with all the data in that market, with 3 years plus residence, so they have some equity. Obviously, when you're just starting, you don't need as much data as I do. I have 16 cold callers, so I need a lot of data. But, if you don't have that many cold callers, you can pull 15 plus residents, right? 15 years they've lived in their house. That will be a lot higher equity, and you'll pull more deals out of that. So broad data with high equity, best place to go.
Well, someone asked, do you need an LLC? No, brother. Jovan, you don't need an LLC. I would recommend you guys getting an LLC or some type of protection. But when I did my first deal, I made $15,000, and my first deal, I wrote the contract up with my own personal name. If you're trying to scale an organization, obviously I wouldn't recommend doing every single deal with your name. Have some type of protection, but you obviously want to get legal advice on how you're able to do that in your specific state. So no, you don't need an LLC. If you're doing your first couple of 5-6 deals, you don't need an LLC.
Like you're an LLC, you can get it online, costs you like a couple $100 to set up the LLC. So it's not much, but if you'd rather put that money into marketing dollars, get your first deal, then get an LLC. it's for protection. You don't want to be doing deals through your name for a long time. I mean,
someone asked, do you text message at all? I personally stopped all SMS during the coronavirus. For me, I feel like it's just a big waste of money, but who knows? It all depends on the market. I used to do a lot of SMS here in California, but now we're strictly doing PPC, and we're doing cold calling. And cold calling is, I always say this, is going to be the number one marketing tool. You never want to start. You never want to stop cold calling. But also as well, I would always recommend different marketing streams where you can get leads from everywhere.
Yeah.
And I get a lot of leads from Instagram, and your Instagram presence is everything. I get a lot of people who hit me up just for Instagram leads. For leads through Instagram.
I do SMS only to pre-foreclosures when they come out every day. So I have a whole system where I'm on top of pre-foreclosures the day they come out. So I'm getting to them before anyone else is. I'm cold calling them and texting them the day they come out, because you get like a list every day of pre-foreclosures. They come out every day, right? Because that person just went into pre-foreclosure on this date. So I have a whole system. So I'm hitting them by text and cold call the day they come out. So I'm texting that list. I'm texting the lates. Other than that, I really don't text anything. Sometimes I send like the absentee list. I do it like 3 times a year. I text blast absentee list, and I think I text blasted divorce and death. I haven't seen a great return at all from text blasting, but I know some people that spend a lot more money on text blasting that do see the return. But my main marketing channel is cold calling. It will work, It will
always work.
It will always work.
I like that you mentioned SMS. You mentioned SMS. You're doing pre-foreclosures?
Yeah, and just lates. Barely any SMS. I'm probably spending maybe under $500 a month on SMS. So nothing. Okay. And then I'm spending almost 15 grand a month on cold calling. So as you can see, I'm really going for the cold calling. Cold calling is rudimentary. It will always work. People answer their phone. Well, most people do. Some people don't. But cold calling is not saturated too. Everything's saturated. So don't worry about things being saturated as well, too saturated.
Yeah, and the pre-foreclosure list. Yeah, I'd recommend texting to pre-foreclosures. I personally do that in the San Antonio market. So in the San Antonio market, we send out pre-foreclosure messages. In California, we don't do any of that stuff. We just do cold calling and PPC. But I would recommend SMSing. If you're opening in San Antonio and you want consistent deals, do San Antonio. San Antonio, we're probably locking up 2 to 3 deals every single week.
Jacob, do you close deals yourself, or do you have a team of closers? I have 2 acquisition managers right now. I just moved into my new office, and I'm so excited about it. I'm going to be hiring 4 more people onto the team starting next week. So then I will have 6 acquisition managers. I am closing deals alongside my acquisition managers currently. So eventually I won't be doing that.
And your father too.
Yeah,
your father too. Yeah, you guys are closing deals. I love that.
We're closing deals, and I love closing deals, and it's only making me more of a shark and a better person to go and train my acquisition guys.
18-year-old shark. I love that.
So literally, guys, I locked up $200,000 worth of deals in 1 month, and I closed my deals alone. I closed $102,000 in 1 week. 18-year-old locked up $102,000 worth of deals, and they all closed in 1 week.
1 week.
18-year-old can make $102,000 in a week? Get out of here. It's crazy. This real estate, man, it's hacks. It's hacks to life. If you're not wholesaling real estate, it'll change your life. So you need to get into it.
Yep, exactly. Someone asked, where do you get your pre-foreclosure list? The day they come out. It all depends. You can get it on different resources. You can get it on Foreclosure Daily. You can get it on that. You can also get it if you have a connection with your county. Go to the county.
Yeah. I get it for free from my title company. It comes already skip trace. They send it every morning. That is Fidelity Title Company. Not all of them do it. Start reaching out to your title companies, because when you're doing business with title companies and they're making money off of you, they will offer you a bunch of things for free.
Yep.
What markets are you looking to expand to? Dallas, San Antonio. But I might go to Cali because it seems like everyone's making hella money in Cali.
Nah, but let me tell you this, Jacob. California is you got to be on it. You'll probably get 3-4 deals a month in California. I think a really good, if you want to get into a consistent, and this is for everybody, it's not just for Jacob. If you guys want to get into a consistent market, it would be San Antonio. Like I said, in San Antonio, the deal size are not going to be a lot. Hey, brother Angel, do your thing. Angel has to go pick up his daughter. Thank you, Angel, so much. I appreciate it for coming through. Okay.
Yes, thank you, Angel. We really appreciate you coming
I'll
on.
see you guys.
Thank you so much.
All right. Yes, sir.
But like I was saying, guys, the San Antonio market's fire. You're not gonna get $20,000 deals, $30,000 deals. You're not gonna get any of that. In San Antonio, you're gonna get $4,000 deals, $5,000 deals. But I can guarantee you can if you have a team of 4 people, 5 people, you're able to close at least 3 to 4 deals every single week.
Right. So the average deal size is smaller in San Antonio, but you definitely can get some big deals out there, but it will help you be consistent because the deal flow clearly has been consistent for you, which is amazing.
My boy Jaime Duncan said, "Let's JV for San Antonio, brother. We're locking up deals in San Antonio. So if you want to get definitely JV, you got deals out there. I got the buyers, or if you got buyers, then we'll definitely hit me up on Instagram. Hit me up on Instagram, and we'll definitely talk more."
Guys, we're going to cut this off at 6:40. 7 more minutes. Ask us real estate questions. We will answer. 7 more minutes of questions.
I'm just starting off from the bottom. Brother, that's how you're able to do it. Look, Jacob is 18 years old. Jacob started at 16 years old, right? You started at 16 years old?
Yes, sir.
Myself, I started at 18 years old. And at 18 years old, I fucking struggled. And I always say this all the time, brother. You're going to have to struggle. The only way you're able to grow is by struggling. That's the only way. The only way to grow is by struggling. And without pain and without discomfort, then there's no room for growth. So go through that pain. Go through the times where you're cold calling. If you're just starting off, cold call till your ears bleed. For the next year, cold call till your ears bleed. You should be cold calling from 8 in the morning till 8 at night every single day. Don't sleep. You gotta be relentless for this. You gotta want to be hungry for success.
I want to congratulate you for being on this podcast right now. I want to congratulate you because you're taking Javier. That's starting from the bottom. I want to congratulate him because he's taking the right steps in order to make this happen, right, for himself. Hoven. I want to congratulate you for saying I'm starting at the bottom, right? And there's a lot of things you can do. You can cold call, right? And cold calling is how I started. I'm pretty sure it's how you started, Leo. So you should definitely cold call. But the second
I wish I would have started. I'm telling this right now, guys. I wish I would have started cold calling. I started off door knocking and I started off doing bandit signs. I used to go behind the local Home Depot and I used to go in the back at nighttime and I would steal all the cardboard boxes because I couldn't afford to pay for bandit signs. They're expensive. Yeah. So what I used to do is I used to go in back of Home Depot and I used to steal all the cardboard boxes and I used to post them at nighttime. And I remember telling my wife, I used to tell her, babe, look, you see, that's my bandit sign right there. I used to be so proud of these bandit signs. So guys, if I would have found out about cold calling when I first started, I would have, it would have not took me 8 months to get my first deal.
So I started passing out flyers and then I instantly, I would door knock and give them flyers to all the pre-foreclosures and niche lists like that. I mapped it out all over town. I was driving all over town. I planned out where I was going to go, so I'd save as much gas and time. And I was passing out flyers. That sucked. Then I started cold calling. So cold calling is definitely the way to start. But secondly, congratulations for being on this podcast because secondly, besides cold calling, you need to be learning as much as you possibly can, watching everything you can on YouTube, joining in podcasts like this, going to networking events. So congratulations for taking the right steps to get off of the bottom and become a successful CEO with a wholesaling business.
Yeah. All right, then. That's pretty much it.
I think we're good. I like the ending on that. I like that ending. So, yeah, Leo is at Lion of Influence on Instagram, and I am at @JacobBlank_. Hats and shirts we're going to be trying to launch next week or the week after. We're not trying to make a profit off of them. We just want you guys to be able to rep the Millennial Motivate community. So look out for that. But other than that, thank you guys for joining in. We had Angel Rodriguez on tonight who shared some inspiring stuff about what it takes to be a professional boxer going through training camp, the trials and tribulations, and that ties very deeply in with business and success on what you have to go through in order to live a successful life. Repeat that quote one more time that Muhammad Ali said. Repeat it one more time.
That quote is basically suffer now to live the rest of your life as a champion. And I say that all the time. Suffer now to live the rest of your life as a champion. And that's how it is in life. Especially if you're starting off in business, guys, if you're starting off in business or you're an entrepreneur that's starting anything really, do not chill. Do not have fun. You should be working every single day. You should be hungry for success. That's the only way you're going to be massively successful. Everybody wants the cars. Everybody wants the jewelry. Everyone wants basically everything. They want all of that stuff. Guys, I'm telling you this right now. You want to be massively successful, you have to suffer. You have to suffer. And put your ego aside.
Someone said, what's your favorite movie? Let's go.
Watch it.
Let's go. Go watch it right now if you haven't seen it. You got to watch it. Gotta watch that movie if you're getting into business. But that's it. Guys, suffer now to live the rest of your life as a champion. That is the message to take away from this podcast. And that is how the Millennial Motivate community will live their life. So thank you guys. We will be back next month for another podcast. Also, one more thing that's coming in the near future, we are building an in-person studio podcast room where we will be holding these podcasts live in the future. That should be all set up by 2021. So look out for hats and shirts. Look out for us to have an in-person studio to do the podcast. And other than that, suffer now to live the rest of your life as a champion. Thank you guys for tuning in.
Bye. You guys have a good one. Let's do it.